type of thing?
What?
When you click?
Yeah. No, I clicked it.
Oh, we're going?
Yeah.
Oh, hi.
So I just clicked it.
No, let's go.
I mean, this is just. What do you call it?
Intro. Intro BS.
Intro BS.
Yeah.
Or what else do they call it? Like
A cold take.
a cold take.
Uh-huh.
A warm up.
Warm up.
But we're just gonna keep going.
Yeah, that's fine with me.
You like Batman?
Yeah, he's all right.
I like.
I guess this is what it's about. I mean, we're kind of surrounded by Batman right now.
We've been. Hi, my YouTube channel. Typically unveiling records, but today I'm here with my friend Austin, and we've been talking about the new Batman trailer. We're super excited for the new. Who is it? Robert
Pattinson.
Patterson. Is that how you say his name?
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was Robert Patton.
Pattinson.
Robert Pattinson. Clearly, we know nothing about Batman. But so you're going to, whoever's watching this, you're going to watch our reaction to the trailer.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Copyright laws. I don't know if I can have you see the trailer as well while we're watching it. So we're gonna watch it. So here it is. The Batman. The trailer got released last week. I'm pretty excited about it.
I'm very excited.
So here we go. So
Dark
cheers.
and gritty. Salud.
Yeah, a little Wisconsin beer.
Gonk. So, beginning starts with a guy getting duct taped.
Yep.
Looks like he got killed, murdered. No more lies.
No more lies.
Nirvana.
I think the Nirvana song is creepy and it's the perfect element for this. I really do like it.
Gothic. Very
gothic for Gotham.
All the characters are looking so clean.
Commissioner Gordon.
Mm-hmm.
I love his boots. I mean,
The army grade boots, straight up.
It's just easy.
Now, when they released that it was going to be the Riddler, and they kind of had the riddles in the beginning, I got excited because I want a deep, dark.
Dude, he looks great. Batman looks fantastic.
He does. The armor looks good. He's not really like bulky. It's like natural. It's thin, like an assassin.
He kind of has this little emo look going on here.
Mm-hmm. Like he's a very young Batman in this.
What's wrong to you?
I think that's supposed to be Penguin.
Cobblepot?
Yeah.
Could be. I mean, who knows? We don't, as of right now, a lot of villains were kind of like speculated. Like Selena Kyle,
There's Catwoman. There, yeah. Or Selena Kyle, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Is that like Zodiac Killer? What do you think?
I'm not 100% sure. I like this.
The beat up scene?
And I love how much they put this in the trailer. I've watched this trailer probably about a dozen times already, but...
On vengeance. That is nice because everyone's thinking, oh, I'm the Batman.
Of vengeance.
Because he is vengeance.
I like that they're showing a decent amount of Batman in his suit in the trailer. I'll be honest, I wasn't...
I think Robert's looking great.
I was skeptical about all this, but then I saw the trailer and I'm super stoked about it.
Oh, my part of this. God, he looks good. It's Batman.
Look at that with the question marks.
Mm-hmm.
2021.
I like it. I like it a lot.
I think it's gonna be cool. I'm super stoked for it. Batman. So it comes out. They don't have an actual release date for it yet, though.
No, sometime 2021 because who knows what's gonna happen.
I mean, nobody really
going
knows
into the
what
future.
The heck's going on.
Mm-hmm.
I'm super excited for it. I'm excited about the different types of villains. I saw that
It's clean slate. All villains are fair game right now, so there's no rules of who you can and who you can't do right now for a villain. And there's so many villains that they need to cover. So many good ones that are still wide open that haven't been touched.
I wonder.
Zodiac Killer, awesome villain.
I think like I was just gonna say, do you think Harvey Dent's gonna be in this movie?
I think I'm not sure if he was in the trailer, but I was kind of reading like reviews and whatnot, and people are like, "Oh, look, it's Harvey Dent."
Well, it seems like they're putting a whole bunch of people on it. Mm-hmm. Don't mind my notifications popping up here.
But like you said, though, like Commissioner Gordon, he's looking good. Bruce Wayne, young. He's going to be agile again.
Yeah.
This is going to be like young, dark, gritty. And I think it's going to be great. They're going with the darker tone.
Well, and actually, like, and as far as the villains, he's it's not Oswald, it's not Edward Nygma for the Riddler.
Yes.
It's his other name that it's funny, he has multiple names. But it's what, the Edward Nashton?
Yep.
Ed Nashton, which I'm pretty excited about because it changes it up a little bit. Of course, whoever's like a huge fanatic of Batman, they're probably just thinking that we're idiots, but whatever.
Well, we are, but...
So we have these little decorations here of all the little Batmans. Sorry. We took all the logos and put them around us to remind us that we need to talk about more than just the Batman, because we really don't know much about the Batman, but we do know a lot about the other Batmans.
So we got quite a few Batmans on this list right now. We got them all the way from the 60s all the way up to the current day. So we're going to go Adam West all the way to Christian Bale to Batfleck and everything in between.
Batfleck, I like it.
Batfleck, absolutely. So
Adam West, what do you know about the Adam West Batman?
Adam West, so going back, this is like basically the cartoon before it was a cartoon. So what they did with the Batman series back then, it wasn't dark at all. The colors are bright, the villains are kind of more funny, and it's not very Batman-esque, I guess. To me, I can't say that. I can't say it because these are the origins.
It's very comic book.
It is, and it's comical.
Yeah, comical.
It's more funny.
I mean, I remember watching not the show, but the movie, the TV movie that they had, with all the villains, with Penguin, with Joker, with
Cesar Romero.
Yes,
Joker.
And what I loved about that show as a kid, it was when they would hit them, it'd be like pow.
Pow. Yep, you'd have
bang,
like the comic books.
bam.
It'd be like the sound effects, and you'd see them on screen. It's just kind of goofy. It's not. I didn't take it seriously, but it was fun. It was still fun.
It was fun, and I mean, obviously, you go back and you watch some of those, and it is kind of funny to watch because
it's hilarious. Because just with the technology back then, it's just kind of funny to watch, and it's just like when they're like scaling buildings and whatnot, and it's fun.
The shark repellent.
Yes, everything on the belt that you could possibly want or need, repellent or whatever else may you have.
Beverages. Cheers again.
Salud.
Never had one of these. I don't know if it's any good.
I'm trying that one next as soon as this one's done.
Do we have to put like tape over the
logo
labels so nobody sees them? Shh, don't say anything. Moving on. So, I mean, do you have anything more to say about Adam West?
And
we're just talking Batmans.
Adam West. Yes, today is just going to be primarily Batmans. We'll sneak in a couple of like the villains or the counterparts in some of the series because, for example, the first 1989 Batman, that's straight up just Batman, Joker, period. There's no other villains. So maybe we might talk about some Jokers and their counterparts in the movies, just a little bit, but mainly it's going to be Batman focused. So for all you Batman guys, we're going to do mostly Batman. I'm Batman.
But see, no, I'm Batman. See, you got the more Christian Bale. What movie is that in? Isn't that some movie that they sit there and they go, Neighbors.
Oh,
and the Neighbors, I think, yeah.
Go, I'm Batman.
And they talk like this. Anyways, moving on to the 1989 Batman that's starring Michael Keaton, who was in Batman and Batman Returns.
Mm-hmm. He had two.
He's
one of the only guys who had multiple roles. Some of the other Batmans that we're going to talk about in like the 90s, they only had one go. And there might be a specific reason why they only had one go. So let's talk about 89 real quick.
So 1989, which is that one right there. That's my favorite Batman. I mean,
that's your favorite?
That's my favorite Batman. That's the Batman that I grew up with.
Oh, well, that's nostalgia.
It is nostalgia.
That's nostalgia factor.
But I've gone back and I've watched every single Batman.
Mm-hmm.
Michael Keaton's my favorite Batman. There's like hands down. I mean, number two would be. We'll get to him later. I don't want to tell you my number two yet. But Michael Keaton is definitely my hands-on number one Batman.
He's like the OG Batman that kind of took things a little bit more serious, where it kind of started to take the darker tone, and then we have the Joker, who's just
You know, the thing about the 1989 Batman is it was darker. I mean, for me, I was maybe 5 years old when it came out.
Really? Oh, I mean 89, I guess now. I wasn't born yet.
He wasn't born yet, but what did I like about it? I mean, what I still like about it, just like I said, the darkness, that opening scene where
the music.
You know, the kid is kind of like he sees the kid and the parents, and they get shot, and he attacks the robbers and everything, very much like how it was when he was a kid. If you haven't seen the 1989 Batman, you need to stop watching this and go watch that. By far my favorite, and then he was in Batman Returns.
Yep, he got 2.
He had 2, and you've seen both of those.
I have.
Okay.
And that one's with Danny DeVito as the Penguin.
Danny DeVito as the Penguin,
which is awesome, by the way.
Michelle Pfeiffer as Catwoman. There's some cool scenes in Batman Returns, like when the Penguin bites off the guy's like nose.
It's scary. Cool. That one scared me as a kid, because that one I did end up watching that when I was pretty little, probably also when I was about 5 or 6. That one actually scared me. There's kind of some haunting scenes in there and whatnot. So,
but I mean, Michael Keaton's Batman,
I think he's very like stiff as Batman, because every time he turns, he'll always turn.
I'm Batman. Yeah,
because the suit was skin tight. It had to be. So,
fun fact for you. Michael Keaton played in a movie called Birdman. I don't know if you ever heard of it. Birdman. It actually won a lot of awards.
I do know. It's like kind of like the superhero Birdman, right?
Yeah, it was.
I remember that.
This movie.
Yep.
Birdman.
Totally. Yes.
So fun fact is.
Very vaguely.
So this movie came out in a couple of years ago, probably in 2016 or whatever, if I'm wrong, but. They used the same mold for the suit in Birdman that they used for the 1989 Batman, and it still fit Michael Keaton.
Stayed in shape.
Yeah.
He's an OG. He is one of the OG Batmans, though.
I thought that was kind of cool when I saw that on the special features of the Birdman Blu-ray. But no, yeah, Michael Keaton, he's my favorite. I mean, have you ever danced with the devil in the pale moonlight?
Oh, God. One of the best sayings ever. Best Joker sayings.
Right. Well, Joker said it, and then at the end of the movie,
he kind of taunts him.
He taunts him with it, and I mean, we're not talking about Jokers. That's a completely different video.
Maybe next video.
I mean, I could go on and on about the Jokers. By far, Batman's greatest arch rival,
Nemesis.
Nemesis. That's the word I'm looking for.
Definitely. Salt to the pepper.
How many times can I say shout out to our homie Jim. He's still alive.
He's hanging. We just talked to him the other day. He's doing well. He's doing really well,
what's
actually.
next? I mean, I could go on about Michael Keaton. I don't want to go too much about it.
I think we should talk about some other, because we still got, well, as you can see, we got some more Batmans to get to. So let's talk about.
We can go right down the list there. I mean, we can go right to the animated series after that.
I think because that's when it kind of. Anyway, so. Animated series. He didn't do too much of the animated series.
I don't know so much about. I remember watching it as a kid, and I remember liking it, but it never to me stuck with me as one of the premier Batmans until I got older, and I would love to go back and rewatch a lot of the animated series.
And the movies too, because there's a lot of movies. A lot of movies. Oh yeah.
What's his name?
Who?
The guy who did Batman.
Kevin Conroy.
Kevin Conroy.
Mm-hmm.
He was in an episode of Flash, but it was the Crisis on Infinity Earths. Last year on the Flash and the Arrowverse.
Was he in it?
He was. See, old
I don't
Batman.
watch the Flash. Really? Oh God, he's just. When I hear that voice, it's just Batman. I just think nothing but Batman. That's like the most iconic Batman voice, because obviously he's not acting; it's voice acting. So. Right. The voice is just perfect. It fits so well. It's dark. It's not raspy, It's not going to be the raspy voice. So, when he has the voice, it's deep and it's dark. And it has some body to it. And it feels menacing almost. And that's how Batman is. He's vengeance, So, I think having that deep, dark voice is just the perfect Batman voice. So it's not the raspy voice, but it's the...
Well, he's got that voice that when you see the actor playing in a show...
It's iconic, and you're like, it's Batman.
You're not looking at the
actor
not Kevin,
going,
it's
Batman.
Who is that? You're like, I know that voice. Mm-hmm. I know that voice. And then when it hits you...
Well, it's like, for example, the Mark Hamill voice. So when you hear the Mark Hamill...
I knew you were going to bring him. I was trying not to.
Really quick. But the Mark Hamill voice as well, his counterpart... Amazing. It's Mark Hamill. You're like, come on. Mark Hamill, unbelievable actor, unbelievable voice actor. He's done so many different things. He's done a lot. He's still doing voice acting to this very day. So he's staying very active, and some of the voices, he'll kind of sneak in some Joker, a little bit in some of the voices.
Not to make this a Flash video podcast or whatever, but he's in the show The Flash too. He plays the trickster.
That makes Trickster. Who's the trickster in Flash? Is it the guy who wears multiple colors? That guy?
He plays tricks on you.
Because
I love how I'm wearing an X-Men shirt during a Batman
DC
podcast.
He's a Marvel guy.
And we're talking DC. I love DC probably more than Marvel. I love X-Men though. I don't have a Batman shirt. Do you have a Batman shirt?
I have a Nightwing shirt.
You didn't wear it?
No.
We're doing.
I know.
Are we gonna do a Nightwing Robin podcast?
I see. Robin's my favorite. I love Robin and Nightwing. Dick Grayson is the best Robin Nightwing ever. So this isn't about him. This is about.
I didn't know you were a big Nightwing fan.
Oh, Nightwing's my favorite.
Really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Remember my old lanyard? It was Nightwing.
Oh, I suppose it was.
Mm-hmm. So, anyway, we're not going to talk about that too much, but eventually we are going to talk about Batman and Robin. That's going to be next. But we're going to do one more before that.
Yes, we are.
And that's going to be the Val Kilmer. Is that
Val
right?
Kilmer.
Kilmer or Kilmore?
Kilmer. Val Kilmer.
Kilmer.
M-I-R,
I think, yeah.
So, tell me, Doctor, do you like the circus?
Oh, God.
Sorry, he says that to Nicole Kidman. I love Batman Forever. I'm sorry, you're about to say something.
No. It's great.
This movie was so,
it was a little over the top.
It was, but
that's part of the fun.
This movie hit me as a kid at the perfect time. This came out in 1997, maybe?
Was it? I think it was a little early. I think 97 was Batman and Robin.
You know what? I can fact check that. Whoever's watching, be like, oh, you came out this year. But you know what? Sometimes...
Was it 94? 94?
Dude,
95?
I betcha. Let's see here. Batman Forever. Comment below if you know the answer.
Yeah. Apparently we don't.
1995.
It's my birthday. Birthday year.
I was 11 years old.
I was just born.
But Batman Forever was when... I shouldn't really say when they got all big stars in, but they got a lot of big stars. They did in Batman and Batman Returns as well. Obviously in Batman 1989 you had Keaton and you had Jack Nicholson. Batman Returns you had Keaton, DeVito, Michelle Pfeiffer. But then you get to Batman Forever.
And the stars just keep lining up and adding up.
You got Val Kilmer, who's now taken over. And I think who took over the roles for directing? Was Joel Schumacher. Because the first two were Tim Burton. So then they went to Joel Schumacher, and he made Batman Forever, and I think he did Batman Returns as well. Yes, he did. He did Batman Returns as well.
That makes sense.
But they came in with Batman Forever. So this is when Batman Forever, you could go to McDonald's. You could get a Batman Forever mug,
toy.
a glass or a toy.
Toys? Yes.
And they had the glasses, like the ones that you could. I think you could put them in the freezer and they would freeze. Which we'll talk about freeze in Batman Robin. Okay,
that'll be a fun one.
Batman Forever brought you Val Kilmer, his love interest Nicole Kidman. Gosh, is Batman Forever my favorite? Jim Carrey, who was super hot at the time.
The Riddler.
And he was
Jim Carrey in the
Riddler.
90s. That was he was in every movie. Every movie in the 90s. I swear.
Tommy Lee Jones as Two-Face. Let's see here.
Who's Robin?
Robin wasn't in Batman Forever.
Was he not yet?
No. Okay, I'm a liar. I'm a big fat liar.
That's what I thought. I was saying, I'm pretty sure.
Chris O'Donnell was was Robin, and because Two-Face killed his family.
Yep.
Because he the
Flying Graysons. Yep.
You know, you're a big Nightwing fan and Robin fan. I love Batman Forever.
It's that one. See, that's like I think thinking back to it now. When I was growing up, that might have been the first one I've ever watched. It's kind of, I'm very out of order just because I was kind of born right in the middle of everything, so.
Batman Forever, like I said, it hit me. I was 11 years old when that came out. Like I said, like you would go to McDonald's, you'd get the toys, you'd get the glasses. Not the glasses, but the drinking glasses, the mugs, I should say. I had a buddy he had all of them, and every time I'd go to his house, we'd argue over who gets which one.
Everyone probably wants the Batman mug.
Not only that, the soundtrack for that album. Can we not? I know we're just talking Batmans here, but I'm kind of just going off the rails on this. I do have it on vinyl.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Wait, I want to see it.
I don't want to dig through it. It could take forever,
gosh,
but
yeah.
I don't want everybody to see my ass on the camera here. Or do I? Anyways, Batman Forever, I love it, but we're talking Val Kilmer. We're talking not just the movie, we're talking
But Val,
Batman.
I think he was more Michael Keaton style. It was very, very similar, I think.
And I think maybe he was trying to be like Michael Keaton because he was his predecessor.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the right word?
Yeah.
Predecessor?
He was his kind of almost like a pupil of his, I guess, of Michael Keaton.
He took
in a
over
way,
for Michael Keaton.
but he was his understudy in a way, I guess.
They go a little bit dark in that movie too because Batman
Basically saves Robin.
Bruce Wayne. He saves Robin, but he starts having
Or
like
Dick Grayson.
these kind of like flashbacks during that movie, where I'm stuck somewhere where I can't escape. I'm trying to get out. He's like talking to Nicole Kidman. I can't think of her character, but it gets dark.
The love interest.
The love interest, and I don't know. I mean, Val Kilmer he's up there for one of my favorite Batmans. He only had 1 year though, one Batman.
He had one shot, but I think he did well.
I think he did well too. I could go on and on about Batman Forever. I'll probably watch it after this.
It's good.
It is good.
Not my favorite still though. Not my favorite.
We're getting there. I bet you I could pick which one's your favorite.
It's
pretty obvious. Anyways, it's totally George Clooney, isn't it?
Caught me.
From Batman and Robin. His favorite Batman is George Clooney. I'm just kidding. It's not really. Is it?
But no.
Okay.
No, but
the guy from ER. Remember that? You remember that show? ER? No. No. Okay.
Well, let's segue right into that then.
Yeah.
So, okay. Batman and Robin. Again, we have it. Boop. Batman and Robin. Boop. This guy right here. Oh.
I think that. Go on.
That was maybe a disaster. That was pretty close to a disaster as you could get, because they just try to stick in way too many villains. One, the Mr. Freeze puns, Arnold Schwarzenegger puns of freezing and being chill and cold and cool. It was
chill.
It was a little over the top, and I think having him in that movie was just too comical. It was just almost like it was more of a comedy than any.
Well, you know what that introduced? Batgirl.
It did. Well, Batgirl, that was her first appearance in any like live action Batman movie. Besides that,
Silverstone.
Sorry. Besides that, no, it's all good. But besides that, we really don't have a Batgirl represented in any of these movies.
George Clooney was the pretty face Batman. He was the top-notch actor at the time. If you got George Clooney in your movie, you were doing something right. But like you said, the problem was they tried to get so many people into the movie. It was too many
hot stars in the movie, and it kind of turned into a hot mess. Just having too many people. I mean, if you look at the movie, the first actor isn't Batman. Usually in a Batman-based movie, you would think, oh, it's going to be Batman first, then maybe Robin, and then the villains. But it was actually Arnold Schwarzenegger highlighted first.
Schwarzenegger was first, then Clooney, and then O'Donnell, Uma, and then Alicia Silverstone.
But the number one, and even on the poster, show the poster again. Look who's on top.
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
He's Mr. Freeze.
Sorry for the horrible impersonation.
The movie was basically kind of around Arnold, just because he was such a big deal in like the 90s, and even then in like Terminator, Terminator 2. Woo, what a great movie! But this hot garbage. This is not my favorite. Not my favorite.
I have a problem with I don't have an ability really to dislike movies.
I can't really dislike a Batman
movie. I can
movie.
watch Batman and Robin, and I can be satisfied. I can be happy about it. I'll watch it. And I'll be like,
I'm just like
that was fine to me. It's very. I like the colors. It kind of ties together with Forever a little bit as far as
bat nipples.
Is that
bat nipples?
Is that introduced in Batman and Robin?
I think that's Batman and Robin when they get the new suits, and then they have the bat nipples. And then it's all exactly. It's all
that opening scene of Batman and Robin is just him putting his suit on.
Yeah. We don't want to see that.
They show the buttocks.
Yeah, I mean,
okay,
crowd pleaser. I suppose.
Fair enough. Batman and Robin. I mean, arguably probably the worst.
I think one of the weaker
Batman.
movies.
Sorry, George Clooney, you're the worst Batman.
You're the weakest link. Goodbye.
Boo. Let's fast forward. What?
10
years, maybe?
Just about. Batman Begins.
Batman Begins comes out.
Christopher Nolan films.
Christian Bale.
Christian Bale Batman. Bruce Wayne, Christian Bale, young. Just, I mean, attractive, young. He looked great in the movies, and practicing when he's the scenes where he's in the League of Darkness, or not the League of Shadows.
League of Shadows, yeah.
My bad. I'm sorry.
That's okay. That's okay.
But League of Shadows, that whole, just the arc of when he's in it in the mountains far away, and how he's training to become an assassin. One of my all-time favorite scenes, just because we don't get to see Batman become Batman. So this is almost like a Batman origin story. Because yes, you're going to have the beginning where Bruce Wayne's parents are shot. You're going to have that part, but you're not going to have the part of how does Batman become Batman? How does he get his skills? But he's a member of the League of Shadows, and you get to see that, how it builds up, and how he was a member, and how that affected the rest of the movie. Thus, the ending, how the whole ending scene happened. And
the first time I saw Batman Begins, I was confused. I was expecting, Batman's. I was expecting the Batman suit, the fighting, all of the colors. I don't think I'd ever seen a Christopher Nolan film before, and I'll be honest, the first time I saw it, I wasn't the biggest fan, especially when you compare it to the next movie, The Dark Knight,
which is magnum opus of all Batmans, but we'll get to that in a second.
I've watched Batman Begins a bunch of times in my life.
I think it's great.
But as of recently, I went back and I watched the whole trilogy: Batman Begins, Batman Begins, Dark Knight, and Dark Knight Rises.
Mm-hmm.
Batman Begins might be my favorite one.
That's a big surprise, actually.
It really is. I love watching
but at the
him
same
become
time,
Batman and join the League of Shadows.
It's unique because you don't have that in any of these other movies.
Second favorite, Dark Knight Rises.
I'm
saying it. I'm putting it on. Dark Knight is my third favorite out of the trilogy. That's really tough to say. And I just said it.
But it's preference. It's preference.
It is preference. I love Dark Knight, though.
And even though you're wrong.
I love Dark Knight.
But let's talk about, Dark Knight now. So, by far my favorite. Came out in 2008. And just the hype behind it. And I mean, Six Flags, they released a roller coaster before the movie even came out. That's how big of a deal it was. I remember going to that movie back in high school. And I remember seeing the Batmobile and everything at the movie theater. There's the fake Batman and everything. And it was so cool. The hype behind it was amazing. Heath Ledger Joker. And you just have everything Christian Bale's Batman. And how you have Scarecrow. You have Harvey Dent. You have all these characters kind of building up Two-Face, eventually Harvey Dent. But you have all these characters kind of built in so well. Spoilers. I guess after, 12 years. If you haven't seen it.
We've been spoiling.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Big spoiler. So, but how everything kind of adds up and how it just kind of mushes together. It mushes together so well like a gumbo.
But let me throw this at you.
The opening scene of Dark Knight. Let me throw this at you. Just counter throw. But the opening scene of Dark Knight might be the best opening scene of any movie I've ever seen in my life. The bank heist, unbelievable scene.
Filmed all in IMAX.
Yeah.
When you watch that on like your TV, it goes from widescreen IMAX to full screen. Okay, as you were talking, I was thinking, I was listening.
Good.
But I was.
Batman
Begins is my out of the three. We're talking the Dark Knight trilogy here.
Mm-hmm.
Is my favorite Batman movie out of the three. For Batman, because you get to see Batman
become Batman.
Dark Knight is Joker.
It's a lot of Heath Ledger. That movie is carried by a lot of,
like you said, that opening scene was Joker.
It was all Joker. Or the Joker's henchman.
Don't get me wrong. Probably one of the best opening scenes in
any movie. Cinematography history, It's just
so good.
It's on your edge. Yeah, same though. Same. But it just keeps you on the edge of the seat. People are getting killed. You don't know who's good, who's bad. Well, obviously they're all bad. But you don't know what's going on. Like, who's this? Why is this guy dying? Why is this guy shooting this guy after this guy just shot this guy? And it just keeps kind of going.
We'll talk more about that in the Joker pod.
That's gonna be. This is a Batman main podcast.
I know,
right
I know. I could go on and on, but I got to try to keep it Batman.
But Christian Bale's Batman in all three movies were a very strong performance. There was no weak performance in any of these movies. In the trilogy, he did really well. He is the Batman.
Maybe it's an age thing. Maybe it's like the age difference.
Because that's what I kind of grew up with.
To me, like
versus what he grew up with.
It's still Michael Keaton for me. And then it's
I respect
and then
and I like Michael Keaton as Batman.
Notable mention for Val Kilmer, by the way. I love Dark Knight. Like, don't get me wrong. For many, many years, I said that Christian Bale is the best Batman. I said the Dark Knight is the best series. I mean, as a whole in the trilogy, 100%. I think those are better than
the 90s.
These. But this is still my favorite Batman.
They were still fun, though. They were still fun. We're not trying to take anything away from that because they were fun.
I think I liked about Christian Bale's Batman is I think he had the perfect chin line.
He had the voice. I'm Batman. And I'm Batman. I'm vengeance.
What I didn't like about Batman, the Dark Knight trilogy,
was nothing. No, just kidding.
There
are faults.
The Batmobile sucked.
The Tumbler?
The Tumbler sucked.
I like the Tumbler. It was like an army-grade vehicle. I think it's kind of cool. But now going into that, speaking of vehicles, let's do a little shout-out because Dark Knight Rises, they use vehicles from Oshkosh Truck. That's right down the street.
Did they? That's cool. Shout out.
You can see right in the middle of the movie when they have some of the big army trucks moving out, Oshkosh Truck logo right in the middle. And that Oshkosh Truck, yeah.
I have to rewatch them again.
You gotta watch it. You see Oshkosh Truck, they're 20 miles away from us, and it's super cool to see that. A little part of Wisconsin in one of our favorite movies.
That's pretty cool. I did not know that.
Yeah. All Oshkosh Truck.
Little Oshkosh bagash.
That's your clothing brand, but obviously it's not clothing. That's army-grade vehicles.
So out of those three, which one's your favorite?
Dark Knight.
Okay.
But Dark Knight Rises...
Because of Joker?
Because, not just because of Joker, just because of how everything kind of matched up. The lines, the kind of the tension that they put in, how Two-Face, his origin story, it's in it.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
And then you have Scarecrow. That actually led over from Batman Begins. And Scarecrow finally gets captured at the very beginning of the movie and how the opening scene with Batman, when he comes in, when he jumps on top of the car to crush it, and then he gets Scarecrow and he takes him in. I think it's also a really good scene. Very strong scene. I'm not wearing hockey pads.
We're really not that all different. What do you say? We're not really different.
But you and I.
Well, yeah, you and I.
I'm not wearing hockey pads. Oh my gosh.
Okay, probably one of the coolest scenes in that whole trilogy is when that open. That's Dark Knight Rises though, isn't it?
Nope, that's Dark Knight.
That's
when
after.
They catch Scarecrow.
Yeah. When Batman when the van's driving down,
doing
in the spiral down the ramp, and Batman just times it perfectly and just
jumps down. Superhero landing.
Yeah, no, super cool. I was gonna put it on.
But I know it by
I
have it in my memory. So and then the Harvey Dent when they take Harvey Dent because they think Harvey Dent's the Batman. That chase scene, the semi tipping over, such a good scene. There's so many iconic scenes in that movie.
It's hard to say. Okay, once again,
so iconic.
I'm saying that for just solely Batman, I think I like Batman Begins. And we're just saying this right now. I could. I'm just saying this right now. I could change my opinion.
Yeah, it's just an opinion.
I'll probably rewatch them again here, and I'll be like, you know what, Dark Knight's the best. And I always said that it was the best, but I rewatched Batman Begins, and
it's just
blown away.
You don't have an origin story like that.
It's fantastic.
League of Shadows. That's such a cool arc.
It's so cool.
And it's not talked about in even the animated series. It's like with Ra's al Ghul kind of teaching Batman what's up. You don't really talk about it much.
So to segue for you, do you bleed?
Do you bleed? Oh my gosh, you will. That's gonna go. Well, we didn't really talk too much about Dark Knight Rises.
Sorry, I'm sorry.
Let's
I was
get to
jumping into Batman and Superman.
Batman vs Superman in 1 minute because we already talked about. We kind of covered Rises a little bit here.
I like Affleck. I'm just saying.
But I really like Batfleck. I think he did a great job, and he was kind of like the dark, old, kind of grumpy Batman. That's how I kind of see him a little bit. And I thought he did well, and he didn't really have
He was
the
pissed
deep,
off.
dark voice like this.
Dark Knight Rises.
Dark Knight Rises. Bane
Kicked the shnik out of him.
That opening
He
scene,
beat
the
the
opening scene
crap out
when
of
Bane
him.
is fighting Batman for the first time, it was just like watching. Well, for Corey, since he's a Patriots fan, it's like watching the Patriots beat up the Jets every single year, you know? So,
Love it.
for an example, that was just a brutal scene where Batman's completely helpless and overpowered by
He
one
literally broke his
villain.
back.
Broke him in half.
You know what I like about that a lot is that Batman was very arrogant, cocky, and he thought he could just walk right into Bane's lair
No less.
and beat him at no way. And he had some good shots, but Bane kicked the living crap out of him.
I don't even think he had a shot in that
He
in that
had
scene.
a couple of good shots, but like Bane was just like,
He shrugged him off. You didn't feel it.
again, sorry for the horrible impersonations, but
You think darkness
Who's that,
is
Tom
your
Hardy,
ally.
right? That
Tom
was-
Hardy.
Gosh.
And he was huge in that movie. He was
doesn't even look like him.
jacked.
Doesn't
No.
even look like him. And then
He-
when you watch Venom,
That actually got he
He's
got
in Venom,
hurt.
right?
Yeah. He used the main and he did awesome in Venom. I know that's Marvel. We shouldn't be talking about Marvel, but man. Yeah. But yeah, Venom's also really good. But man, oh man, Tom Hardy got huge for the role, and he just put so much into it. Literally, his blood, sweat, and tears. That was like unhealthy how
It-
big he got and how
the
fast he got.
scene when he beats up Batman and when he starts pounding on his
mask.
on his helmet
And
his
it
mask,
breaks.
and it breaks. Like I remember the first time I saw that movie, I was like, "What
You're
are
like,
they gonna do now?"
Like
What
Batman
now?
just got completely.
But then
Outmatched.
it kind of brings you back to a Batman Begins type feel, you know, because when he gets thrown into the well or the whatever you want to call it,
The
and
pit.
the pit. Thank you. It kind of brings you to a Batman Begins type feel. How he is. You
He has
see
to
more.
rise.
You see more Bruce Wayne versus Batman.
Yes.
Who's the best Bruce Wayne?
I still give it.
I'm gonna go Christian Bale with best Bruce
I
Wayne.
have to say Christian Bale.
Best Batman's
he's got
Michael
the look.
Keaton.
He's got the look. He's got
Best
everything.
Bruce Wayne is Christian Bale, for me.
Both Christian Bale for me.
Best Batmobile. Go.
I really like Michael Keaton's Batmobile.
Cool.
That's like the
Michael Keaton's Batman or Batman Returns. And in Batman Returns, the Batmobile could split, and then it kind of had like the little rocket kind of thing that sort of
Yeah.
go in between an alley.
I like the first one. The OG Batmobile '89 was probably my favorite, and even the Batmobile in Batman vs Superman and in the Justice League, I think that was very.
I like that one.
I really like that one too.
I like the Batmobile too.
And they made it a little bit more simple.
Yeah,
Because
'cause
the
he's just
Tumbler,
starting out, right?
Because the Tumbler, exactly. Because the Tumbler was almost, it was very, very different.
It was too army.
It was very, very like, yeah, looked like it came.
Does it come in black?
Yeah.
I don't know. I hated it. I didn't
Tumbler?
like it.
I liked it.
Didn't like it.
I liked it.
I liked when it broke and it turned into the Bat bike.
The Bat Bike was cool.
That was cool.
In the Dark Knight.
In the Dark Knight.
Bat Bike. Doing the flips off the wall, kind of spinning around. I think that was such a cool
And then
scene
when
too.
he let Catwoman use it in Dark Knight
Yeah,
Rises.
and that comes back
That
in
was
Dark
cool,
Knight
too.
Rises. And
Yeah.
how he kind of gets out and originally in the Dark Knight where he takes the bazooka shot or the RPG for Harvey Dent. Obviously, the Tumbler gets destroyed, but the bike gets to go out. Still kind of saves the day, I suppose.
Yeah.
When Gordon eventually comes in and, I guess, saves the day.
What's your favorite part about Dark Knight Rises?
Favorite part of Dark Knight Rises? Oh, man.
I'm just going to go with
The plane scene
Batman.
is one of my favorite, too. And the ending.
Scene. Oh, the beginning?
Yeah, the plane scene.
That's a cool opening scene, too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What is your goal? Crushing this plane.
Crushing this plane.
With no survivors.
With no survivors.
And then he takes over.
Yeah.
Completely. And just, that whole movie is the darkness to it. Because compared to the other ones before, in like the 90s, they were still a little bright. That's when they started getting dark. And now, throughout the years, every decade, they get a little darker and a little darker. And then you have Batfleck. Let's go right into Batman versus Superman and Justice League. Do you bleed?
Sorry. That's like the only line I can think of. You will.
That's a good line, though.
A lot of people...
Do not like him.
No. A lot of people hated on Batfleck.
I really like Ben Affleck as Batman. As an old
He's coming
kind
back,
of...
you know.
Is he actually? No.
Yeah. You
Is
didn't
he?
hear about that?
No.
Yeah.
That's good. I like him a lot.
Spoiler.
And the Schneider cut just got released. Got some of the
I'm super
trailers.
excited about that.
I think everyone's making the joke. What does the S on the chest stand for? Schneider cut. So I love that so much. I think the Schneider cut's gonna knock it out of the park.
Sorry to go back to Batman Forever up there.
Mm-hmm. Somewhere up there.
There is a dark opening scene to that nobody's ever seen. I mean, you can watch it on YouTube. So
what's the opening scene to that? I honestly forgot.
What is the opening scene to Batman? I can't think of it right at the bat.
Is it like a heist or something?
But they have a darker scene of it now. Like it's a little bit different.
Mm-hmm.
We can watch it if you want. But anyways, going back to Batfleck, I didn't mind him. And then when I first heard that Ben Affleck was going to be Batman, I kind of got excited about it immediately. I mean, I'm very big on picturing what someone will look like with the Batman mask on, and how you can only see this part of their face.
Yeah, the chin line.
He's got the chin line. If you got the chin line, you can be Batman. All right.
You gotta have strong chin.
I mean, would you take Batfleck or George Clooney?
Honestly, that's pretty tough. Just because
I take Batfleck. I think he's better.
I just like him just because it's a little bit, just the way he looked. He looked bulky. He looked beefy. He looked tanky. He looked like a very armored, very like army Batman.
I didn't like that he used a gun.
That I didn't like at all.
but I mean, Batman does use a gun in some of the comics. I mean that's
some,
and
but
some.
You see him a lot.
It
That he's basically like an assassin, and he'll use his tools over a gun.
Yeah,
and that's what you like to see, because since he's a member of the League of Shadows, so he's basically a dark assassin that only attacks by night. That's why he's the vigilante at night. So when you see that Batman that uses a gun, it's just kind of like, oh, I could do that type of thing. It's just like, it just kind of turns it off a little bit. That doesn't have like a cool gadget.
He's supposed to have his utility belt and have a bunch of different gadgets on it, and then he pulls out a freaking sawed-off shotgun or whatever it was. It was a letdown. I would like to go back and rewatch those. But no, what I was saying is that Batfleck and Michael Keaton have both signed on for the Flash movie.
Oh, is that Miller still? Or?
Yeah, he's still in it.
Good.
Despite what happened,
there's some issues, and it could have been staged. It might have not have been.
No, nobody cares.
But it was just
it's 2020. Nobody cares.
minor issue, but I think he was a really cool Flash in the Justice League.
I'm super stoked for it. I love Flash.
Well, I mean,
Flash is my favorite by far. But Flash, Ezra appeared in again the Crisis series, the Crisis miniseries that Flash and Arrowverse did, and him and Grant Gustafson, like they see each other and they're like,
making sure.
Are you real? Yeah, pretty good.
Multiverse type of thing.
I would have liked to seen a full-on Batfleck
just
movie.
Batfleck, and I thought we were gonna get
been cool
one.
with that.
Well, they were kind of shown in the Suicide Squad a little bit. They had that very, very short scene with Batman in it.
He was in it for a second, wasn't he?
Literally a second.
Yeah.
But when it was Jared Leto's Joker.
Sorry.
Jared Leto's Joker, and then you had Harley Quinn. They were in that scene together.
Birds of Prey, great movie.
But we have that scene, and then you have kind of Batfleck kind of intervening a little bit in the movie, and you kind of see that, and you're like, I kind of wish I could have saw what it could have been.
Yeah.
Because we don't know.
It would have been cool.
I think it would have been cool. I liked it. I liked him as Batman, and I think the scene in Batman vs Superman when he's saving Martha, when Batman is saving Martha from the warehouse, I think that's such a cool scene. Very, very underrated scene.
Martha.
That is pretty lame, though. That's pretty lame. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, do you have anything else to say about that Batman?
About Batfleck, I would say, like I said, every time you get a new Batman movie, it seems it's just getting darker and darker and darker and darker. And DC's taking kind of the opposite approach as Marvel. Because Marvel, they always have their funny moments, and they have kind of goofier parts, which is good.
Funny moments in those movies.
And I really, really like the Marvel movies too, and I respect both of them. But when we saw Joker last year, I think that was just kind of like seeing the rated R Joker movie, just seeing what they could do with how dark and how gritty and almost disturbing that movie was. I think it was just kind of like affected you. It's like, wow. Like the Joker, because originally the Joker in, we'll go back to your movie in '89, in
Great movie.
Batman, original Batman movie. But what happened to the Joker in that movie, he fell in a vat of acid.
Yes,
or like chemicals.
To become the Joker.
And he became this
Acme,
deformed.
Acme,
just chemicals.
It was called Acme Plant or something like that, yeah.
But they're in like a chemical reaction plant, and he fell in a vat of chemicals, and that's how he kind of got deformed and messed with his mind a little bit. But what happened in the Joker movie, it was mental illness, which is a very serious issue nowadays, and the movie was just very almost realistic. And it's like this poor guy with mental issues gets bullied and pushed down by society, and eventually he fights back, and he kills was it 2 or 3 rich men that were on the train that were bullying him. And it's just such a messed up scene. And then you get your ending scene. You get what you deserve. Whew. What a strong scene.
Want to talk about the Joker.
I'm just saying. But just the darkness behind it. But society made the Joker the Joker.
Well...
And that's like a very serious thing.
Jared Leto's Joker also became the Joker very similar to how
he was
Jack
like a
Nicholson
patient.
did.
He's kind of like a... Well, he jumps in the vat of like...
Yeah, and then doesn't he convince Harley Quinn to do that too?
Yeah, they both jump in together type of thing, and it's kind of weird.
It's a love story.
It's adorable. Abusive relationship.
So coming full circle, we're back to the Batman, which we started talking about that one. I'm super stoked. We're gonna go see it. We're gonna go see it together.
Sure.
Pack deal.
Done. Right here.
We're gonna go see it. Hopefully, we can see it in movie theaters. If not, I guess we'll just have a screening here. I'll pay the money to watch it here.
Dope. You heard it. He's paying. So.
Dang it.
Have it on video.
Well, anyways, for whoever decided to take the 45 minutes, 50 minutes to watch this, thank you. I've never done this before, but what do they say? Click like and subscribe below.
Subscribe to this guy. He's kind of cool. So
I got a lot of unveiling of record videos. I'm going to do more of these type of videos as we go on. Hopefully the quality of everything gets better. I mean, today we're just sitting in my living room with a decent background here that I always have at my little studio desk, and I had fun talking about this. Did you?
Yeah. It's kind of nice just kind of getting not only just like a little refresher, kind of looking into like the Batmans again, but looking at all the rich history that DC has with Batman. And it's just such a good vigilante hero. And you don't really have that. No, Marvel doesn't really have like a vigilante hero, anything like that.
I'm excited about it.
But just today, got announced, Batman Day.
Oh, yes!
I saw it today. Yeah. Batman is getting his own holiday on September 19th. It is officially Batman Day.
Maybe we'll do something for Batman again that day.
Little Batman. Then we'll do a Joker podcast.
Maybe I'll wait to upload this
until the 19th. Maybe a little early. Maybe a week or two early.
Anyways, for like the 8 people watching this, thank you so much. Do you have anything else to say? Maybe we should get Batman masks next time we do this.
Oh, totally.
instead of like screen masks.
But what I want you to do in the section below here in the comments, what is your favorite Batman?
Who is your favorite Batman?
Who?
Owlman might be
Owlman versus Batman. That's another thing.
Anyways.
That's an animated movie.
All right, well,
we're not getting too deep into the animated movies. There's so many animated movies.
Well, he might be in the new The Batman, supposedly, too.
Ooh.
That's brutal. A lot of cool things happening here. Anyways, once again, thank you for watching. This is Austin Gaffner. I'm Corey Wavenak, and we will be back.